The news is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Turtola Pier Park, NV Salon, Nail Spa and Barbershop, Tisley Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment.
It's also the UK's obligation under Article 73 of the UN Charter to help the people of the territory develop their free political institutions.
Special envoy to the Premier, Benito Wheatley, at the United Nations Pacific Regional Seminar on Decolonization as held in St. Lucia on May 11, 2022. A reminder noted as key, especially as the United Kingdom ponders the 45 recommendations of Sir Gary Hickenbottom, the commissioner who sat over the Commission of Inquiry ordered on the Virgin Islands in early 2021 by then Governor Augustus J.U. Jahphix. Mr. Wheatley's primary input at the meeting, the state of things in the Virgin Islands.
I'm attending this Pacific Regional Seminar on behalf of the territory's newly appointed Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Benito Wheatley, who heads the recently formed National Unity Government. Unfortunately, he's unable to join us today due to other pressing matters, as you can imagine. However, he wishes us well in our deliberations and thanks the Special Committee for its ongoing support to the territory. Excellencies and distinguished delegates, the past 14 days have been a roller coaster ride for the people of the British Virgin Islands. We were shocked by the arrest of former Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew Ford, on 28th April in Miami, Florida, in the United States. We are highly disappointed and embarrassed by his actions and the very disturbing things he has been involved in that were revealed in the affidavit filed in the United States courts. We condemn his behavior and believe the U.S. court system should be left to take its course. Excellencies, on the day after the arrest, His Excellency the Governor, Mr. John J. Rankin, CMG, decided to publish the Commission Inquiry Report on the territory that was originally scheduled to be released in June. Governor Rankin's rationale was that it was important to make clear that the arrest and Commission Inquiry were not linked. However, the effect of releasing the report so quickly after former Premier Ford was detained threw an already reeling society into a tailspin. It also strengthened calls in certain quarters for direct rule to be imposed on the people of the British Virgin Islands, as recommended by Sir Gary Hickenbottom in the report. This in turn has increased pressure on the UK government to take that undesirable course of action. UK Minister for the Overseas Territories, the Right Honourable Amanda Milling MP, visited the territory from 2nd to 3rd May, where she, along with Governor Rankin, met representatives of the ruling and opposition parties, as well as a cross-section of stakeholders in society, to discuss the findings and recommendations of the report. The political discussions were frank and open, but cordial and constructive. Minister Milling expressed her deep concern about the government's issues highlighted in the report, which cut across several administrations. The then acting Premier, Dr. Benito Wheatley, and members of the opposition parties acknowledged that there are areas of governance that need to be improved, but that they oppose direct rule as the means by which to do so. Alternatively, they proposed that the recommendations of the Commission Inquiry Report and other reforms be implemented under continued democratic governance with modifications to certain existing arrangements. This position is not only that of the political directorate, it is also the sentiment of the majority of the population who cherish democracy and do not want to see the constitutional progress made over the past 70 years reversed. Many of you would have seen the news coverage of the protests and demonstrations on 2nd May in the capital of Town. I also understand that there are more protests taking place today. Not only is the sentiment against direct rule strong in the rich Virgin Islands, but the strength of feelings across the Caribbean, where governments and their people genuinely want to see the UK break with its past and to stand up as a champion of freedom and democracy in the Commonwealth and around the world, including places such as Ukraine. The British Virgin Islands should be no exception. Importantly, before Minister Milling left the territory, she advised that no decision had been made on whether direct rule would be imposed on the people of the British Virgin Islands, and would await a proposal from the then acting Premier and opposition party representatives on their proposed alternative to direct rule. Since her departure, events on the ground have moved very quickly. On 5th May, the House of Assembly held a successful vote of confidence in the then Premier and Minister of Finance, Andrew Ford. This was very important as we begin the process of rebuilding the reputation of the British Virgin Islands that should not be judged by the actions of one man. On the same day that Premier Ford was stripped of his position, Governor Rankin swore in a new national unity government led by Premier Wheatley and comprised of the major political parties in the territory. The national unity government pledged to work in the best interest of the people of the British Virgin Islands and to serve with honesty and integrity. This has been welcomed by the public who want to see their new government strengthen the institutions and systems of government and demonstrate a change in how the public's business is handled. Toward this end, the national unity government has committed to undertaking reforms, including implementation of the recommendations of the Commission Inquiry Report, albeit under continued democratic governance and in partnership with the UK and close cooperation with Governor Rankin. The government believes this is the most desirable approach, especially since the governor is constitutionally responsible for the public service, security, and administration of the courts, while the elected government is constitutionally responsible for managing the rest of the government. I am pleased to report that yesterday, Premier Wheatley submitted a proposal to Minister Millen on behalf of the National Unity Government that sets out the government's approach to reform and presents a framework for implementation of the recommendations of the Commission Inquiry Report under continued democratic governance. We sincerely hope that the United Kingdom will accept the proposal and will be willing to partner with the National Unity Government to help the British Virgin Islands become the model democracy that its people desire, in which there is opportunity for all.
Further, while stating that the Virgin Islands will remain engaged with the Committee on the Available Options sanctioned by the United Nations, he asked,
I kindly ask that a recent self-governance assessment of the territory completed by independent governance expert, Dr. Carl Corbin, is placed on the record of this region seminar. The UN has been an excellent partner of the BVI, and we look forward to continue our good cooperation with the respective UN bodies and agencies with whom we are engaged on sustainable development and other matters.
Mr. Wheatley has been alongside Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, in negotiating key recommendations of the COI amongst other critical matters of governance. The two are brothers. With this JTV News Update, Kathy Richards.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Fizzly Cross Cider. Fizzly Cross Cider. Deliciously smooth.
Hey, you. Put on some muscle?
I did?
No.
Rapid growth and reliance on digital systems has opened new vulnerabilities, and additional layers of cybersecurity are required to combat sophisticated cyber attacks. Simply Secure's security management solution helps overcome these challenges. Our service includes 24/7 protection for network devices, computers and servers with automatic restoration, security audits, and penetration testing. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Contact us today.